the shadow side of Cancer, which is all about, wanting to be loved,
Mm,
not feeling like we're loved enough, and just the pain of that, of like, like I'm doing all of this stuff for all of these people and I'm taking care of them and I'm tending to them and I'm not getting what I need back. And then do I matter? And I think Jupiter is blowing that up for the cancers, the cancers in the group. What do you think?
yeah, well, their ego is shattering, and ironically, they have a very strong ego. They really do. It's, when you get to them, because I'm a son of a Cancer, you know. But I've also tried to have them all around my life and seeing where they've been. It's like Pluto in the seventh house in Capricorn. That was like, that's what's rocked them. It's like they are very, like, as it comes to partnership and marriage and relationships, they're very controlling over their definitions of that. And they would not let go of those relationships because they love that kind of relationship and they just couldn't imagine themselves in any other kind. Very Capricorn, like drill down, seventh house. And even as Pluto into their eighth, I mean, it's just they're finally maybe considering letting go. It's Pluto's going to get way into their eighth, I think, before they really like snap out of it. And Capricorns, I've seen the same. We'll talk about them up ahead, but I've seen them stay kind of stuck, still longer than I would have thought. So
Yeah.
this ego around relationship issue, that's where their ego has been too big. But and ultimately, Pisces, like they just believe whatever they marry. So Pisces, I think in the ninth house has been like they just gave away their religion to like their family or whatever, and they like lived by the book and then didn't serve them, and then they're like, oh my gosh, and so they're really like, I think, learning that like they can be, believe in anything they want. Or you had cancers who did anyways, like, and we're just a full moon out there and just was like not no apologies kind of thing. So you've seen both varieties, ones that can't and for those ones that do. But yeah, what else have you seen as they turn the corner here after the birthdays? Notice any change?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things that we're all dealing with, well, with all of the cardinal signs, right? Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, is that they are the signs that want control, and
Mm,
they approach it in different ways. And Cancer is one of the water signs, so it's very much fear based, and
hmm
it's the fear of like not being loved, not being safe, not having control. And so, of course, that can turn into like, I want control of you. I'm giving you something so that you'll give me something in return, or I want to ensure that I'm going to be safe, and I want to ensure that you know that I love you and that you love me. And
hmm
it brings up a lot of the fear just in general anytime that any of us are tapped into our Cancerian energy, and it's blown up right now with Jupiter there.
mm,
And at the same time, we're having to figure out the balance of like, if I can't force you to love me. And I don't, I don't want to over mother you. I don't want to guilt trip you into loving me. I don't want to harbor resentment because I've done so much for you. And we all have that energy somewhere, and or we have somebody that's pulling that energy on us. And I think with Jupiter there, that it is the time to really look at that and back away and say, okay, once again, like I'm not in control of how much you love me. And I don't need to perform to make you love me. And so it gets very messy in there with all of our Cancerian stuff. And then it's attached to our family and our history and our relationships. And so it gets kind of messy, but it's also can be the sweetest energy. It can be this really beautiful, safe, satiated, relaxing energy. And I think that's what we're all trying to get to. Like, when does it start feeling good? But we do find it, and we're like, wow, this is what love is supposed to feel like. This is what I have been looking for my whole life. We just have to get there.
hmm Well, that sounds like a wonderful story. Like, well, and I think we don't have coping skills. Human beings don't have coping skills. Cancers don't have coping skills for themselves. They actually don't have them, and they react actually very aggressively. In a very male way in some ways. Like going after something that will make them feel better, and but not within. Like their Libra is fourth house, and so they're very ambitious 10th house. They have Aries and 10th, so their ego is actually in their accomplishments. I got the home, I got the man, he's a doctor. And, like they were man climbers for all those years, so to speak. And I mean in the most respectful way, but they were good at it. Like you made good wives and good partners and good mothers. And so like especially in that era of that time in the 50s, which was very Capricornian feeling, in my opinion. They were Jackie O. It's like as far as the type of I'm talking about Cancer women because my mom's Cancer. Cancer men, I've noticed, very, the silent, silent with all their pain, holding in all their pain, you know, acting like we don't see it, you know,
Yeah.
and they had like, oh, but it's interesting. Um, so I've seen them, Cancers, I've seen changing and taking on their own belief structure. I feel like they're very proud of what they believe now, and they're not shying away or afraid or anything. I've noticed, like, of all of them. Even the person who taught me astrology was a Cancer, and she was very quiet and mysterious about it. And like, because she had another day job where she was a legit something, scientifically, and she didn't want people to know. Like, that's what it was like. So the fact that Cancers are going after that, I think, is the shadow lightening up. And of course, we have to say with Scorpio, Black Moon Lilith was in their fifth. So really tragic love affair wounds coming up. I mean, for Cancers, in the sense of like the fear of being alone forever. You did remarked on it so well, frankly, hitting all the points. But being alone and without and developing, you need me in order for me to have value in your life. Yeah, definitely a big
Right.
part of it. Hmm.
Yeah, it's this whole thing, it's this whole shadow around like when I'm needed, then I know that I'm safe. But when
Mm.
I'm needed, I end up giving so much that then I'm depleted and I have nothing left for myself. So Black Moon Lilith in the fifth would have brought up that, like, what about me? I'm
Hmm.
so concerned that you're not going to love me that I have lost myself and I need to find myself. I need to connect with my heart. And when I connect with my heart, then I get it. Like, oh, I don't have to overperform to make you love me because you're either going to love me or you're not. So it's deep work.
Mm. And the other thing about Cancers, it's like that Scorpio in the fifth, man. They will put all or nothing. They all have a story in their history where they gave all or nothing to love, all or nothing, and he broke her heart, or he broke his heart, or vice versa. She broke his. I mean, I heard more Cancer men actually talk about this wound than Cancer women. But it's just like there's always that deep, deep wound. They were just hurt bitterly, and that's Scorpio. But I think it's all Scorpio energy. With Pluto now, coming back in Scorpio in the 80s, like Scorpio was up for a major upgrade anyways. People have been wounded and bleeding for a long time. So they just tend to have Cancers come with that bleeding heart from a past life too, which is part of their ego wanting to like not have it happen this time.